Okay, so here we are with part 4 of the video series on trigonometric integrals. This will be the last one, and I just have one problem that I want to do. Okay, so as you see, I have the problem written down, and if we're looking at this problem, then we might think, can we use u substitution somehow? But no, this is not a u substitution problem. You could try to substitute u as 2x or 4x. I don't think you're going to get that to work though. So it's not that. And then what were the other things that I said in previous videos that you would do? Think about the derivatives of the things that are involved or identities. And this one I think will come down to identities. All right. So when I saw this, I thought, well, it kind of looks familiar. I think there's an identity that looks something like this. And so I wrote these down, okay? And it's not like, I definitely don't have these memorized. I don't just walk around knowing these, but I know about them. And when I saw this, it reminded me of these sum and difference cosine formulas, even though I didn't remember letter for letter what they were. So, I did think of what anybody would do if they were doing it like this. And I have, a table of identities that I looked them up on and I wrote them down, and this is what I think I can get to work, okay? Now, I don't think either one of these alone is going to work for this though, okay? But I think they're close enough that they're what I can get to work somehow. And what I noticed is if I added these together, I'm going to get cosine of one angle times cosine of some other different angle. Kind of like cosine A times cosine B. So I'm kind of looking at that. And I notice if I add these two equations together, these terms cancel out, which I don't need anyway. So that's the key, is that I see this, it makes me think of these, and then I realize, well, I'll take this, you can add equations together if you want to, and what I'll get is cosine of angle A plus angle B plus cosine of angle A minus angle B is equal to 2 times cosine of angle A, then times cosine of angle B. And these two terms cancel out of it. So that's more like what I want, okay? I've got cosine of one angle times cosine of some other angle, okay? The only thing is that the 2 is not there, but let's do this. Let's get some final form of this. Cosine of angle A times cosine of angle B is 1/2. All right, I'm going to divide that 2 over here, times cosine of A plus B, then plus cosine A minus B. Okay, so that's what I want. So let's focus in on that. Okay, so you see how I saw something that looked familiar to me, and then I figured out how to make the identities work. All right, now, so I'm going to use this identity over here now. Okay, and I see that it's like the A is 2x and the B is 4x. All right, so what I'm going to get if I use this identity here, seeing that angle A is 2x, angle B is 4x, is I'll get 1/2 cosine A plus B, so that'll be cosine of 6x, okay? And then plus cosine of A minus B, so that'll be 2x minus 4x, so I'll get cosine of negative 2x. Okay, and this is something that can be done by u substitution. All right, I'll do a few other things to it to clean it up a little bit. This constant of 1/2 there I'll remove. And then I'll go ahead and I'll keep this cosine of 6x the way it is. And with this part, I notice cosine is an even function. Cosine is what's called an even function. And what that means about cosine is if you take cosine of an angle It's the same thing as the cosine of the opposite of the angle. So what I'm saying as far as that having relevance to what we're doing right now is cosine of negative 2x is the same as cosine of 2x. And that would be a little bit simpler to work with, so we'll just do that. Okay. All right, now these are both done by u substitution. All right. Here, you'll let u be 6x. You'll get cosine u du with u being 6x. And with this other one, you'll let u be 2x. You'll split the integral apart across the plus and use u substitution twice. That's what you do with those. So here's what we'll get. 1/2. Now, with that being said, the antiderivative of cosine 6x is sine of 6x over 6. And the antiderivative of cosine 2x is sine of 2x over 2. And we get our constant of integration, and then we're about done after that. Let's say 1/12 times sine 6x plus over here 1/4 times sine 2x. Okay, just to simplify a little bit. And then we've got it. Okay, now this problem, this will finish off the video series. But even here, even though this problem was different than every other problem I showed you, had something in common with the technique. When we're dealing with trig functions, like it's no surprise that we'll learn to use identities. Okay, when you took pre-calculus or trigonometry, whatever the case is, then you learned all the identities. You learned how to use them, and even if you don't memorize them, even if you don't have a photographic memory of every identity you saw, they should look familiar to you. And you can consult a formula chart or something like that and find the one that you need.